Welcome back to the show, everybody. Dr. Elizabeth Bowman from the University of UOG Press is here, and we are talking about the art of the storyboard. That is a big, big part of storytelling in this part of the world. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you for having us.
We're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
This is something that, especially like older generations, they know, and people throughout Micronesia, it's a time-honored tradition. The stories they tell and the way they put it together is very, very classic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we hope that this is actually our most recent version of Storyboard. And so we too like to tell a variety of stories, whether the short story, the poem, art, figurative art, visual art, and even creative nonfiction can be included. And its subtitle is A Journal of Pacific Imagery. And so we just want to tell Pacific stories, right? People in the diaspora, people living far away, or people from Micronesia, right? Yeah.
There are so many stories to tell over here. I mean, there's ones that are funny, there's ones that are obviously like, they're a metaphor for something bigger, or, like civic duty or cultural pride and everything like that. How do you pick exactly the stories, and how do you curate and call that?
Wow, well,
it's a daunting task.
It truly is. Well, I'm very lucky because I have the support of our editorial board. So that's Victoria from the UOG Press, but also some of my colleagues like Dr. Anderson from Communications and Fine Arts, and Dr. James Vieranes from Chamorro Studies, and then a lot of people from English. Leana Nahalava'a, Andrea Sant, Ann Gorby, Terry Perez, Chris Garcia, people who've worked on this a long time. And we really, this year we actually have a theme, Mumun Lanadzen.
Very nice.
Which is a Chamorro phrase meaning revolution. And we're defining this pretty broadly, but some of the bullet points that we're looking at here, just climate change, decolonial love, indigenerds.
I like that.
Volcanoes. And so Victoria and I just had a lot of fun coming up with some of these different points that people could talk about if they wanted to. And I think as editor, and I think the editorial board too, like we're looking for people who really are tapping into the big questions of our day, right? I actually put climate change on here because that's something that everybody is talking about. Kathy Jetno-Kitchener goes to United Nations and she recites her poem, her beautiful, beautiful poem to her daughter, and I just feel so inspired by people like her. Who are pushing us forward and asking us to consider new things through art, right? Who says art can't ask us to think about the human, the political, the social?
Exactly. I mean, it's not a sneaky way to do that, but you're actually using a very contemporary medium, I would say, to actually get some pretty heavy concepts across and make it a little bit more palatable, is it?
Yeah,
am I on the right page?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think what it really comes from is what human beings are feeling, right? And from in our hearts and in our lives and our families and our environments, like what are the issues that are important to us? And how can we raise our voices and make our voices heard? And so I think that art and literature is actually is one way to do that, because I'm a professor of comparative literature, that's my title. And so for me—
That's an awesome job description.
I know, thank you so much. I was pretty excited. But comparative literature asks us to think about how literature is embedded in our lives and how it's embedded in specific time periods, specific political movements, how it arises out of the real conditions of people's lives. And so by revolution, I think, and in our time as in other times, there are many political movements going on, and there's so much energy, I think, in the air surrounding the decisions that we as people will be making. And so this is a chance for us to take that into the creative realm, right? And sort of explore it visually and verbally and just, think about what we want our island to be like, right? And what we want our world to be like, and how we can influence that, not just by going to the voting booth or speaking, to others, but actually through art, through creating something that may live long past us.
Well, may I ask, Doctor, how has this been received by, particularly like a younger generation, or people that are on Facebook and Pinterest and Snapchat all the time and everything like that, to actually get this in a bound printed medium?
Oh, what a good question.
And to be able to actually, like as you say, comparative literature to parallel, important topics.
Yes, genres, different genres.
Exactly, like with that presentation.
I've been thinking about this because, the spoken word movement is so big on island.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that certain people I know will be submitting some of that work. And so Victoria and I want to have not only this printed version, but also an online version of Storyboard as well, so that we can accommodate, as you say, these new media genres. Yes.
Excellent. So how can people get copy of this and be able to consume it for themselves?
Thank you so much. Well, you'd want to contact us either at UOG Press, either Victoria at UOG Press, or you can email us, and it's just storyboard@triton.uog.edu.
Very nice. Easy enough to remember. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
All right, thank you for
Jason.
sharing with us, and please come back anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
we'd love to hear how the
appreciate
project continues to mature.
it. Si Diyos maasi.
Jesus Masi to you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned, everybody.